And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Core, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Just took down Clem at 2-0, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Team Vitality. It is Solar. A wild Zerg has appeared. Oh, they exist. They're not extinct. Let's go. Again, we've been casting a lot of TVP as of late, not just in ESL Open Cup Europe, but also in KSL, right? KSL was almost purely TVP as well. For those that are curious, we were casting the KSL last night, the Korean StarCraft League, and both Dark and Solar went down early on in those series in the quarterfinals, as we're going for the center hatchery. Oh my god, it feels so... I get to cast a Zerg player. That's crazy. So we're going for the center base. Solar's forced to take the unnatural. Natural, this center base does lend towards roach-based all-ins. It is a launch pad for creep. Creep spreads very quickly across the map, and we can prioritize this gas geyser as well for roach production. This doesn't have to be for an all-in, but it is there's a very high chance for it. And I'm sure MaxPax is aware. I'm sure MaxPax is going to be on notice for scouting that, as MaxPax has confirmed the base. Likewise, this base is also a little bit more exposed, so MaxPax could try to open up Twilight Council, for example, into Glaives, or it could just try to hyperfixate on crippling the economy here between the base setup of Solar. We'll see how MaxPax responds. Likewise, you can still expand to a third base quite freely. Again, we're loading into Crimson Court, and this third base is very difficult to punish just because you have to break through rocks or mine through multiple lines of minerals here as well. So this third base can be quite secure, which is also why I imagine Solar wants to commit to aggression. But we'll see. We'll see how this all comes together here. As for now, we're droning. We are droning up. Queens are on the way. We do have Warp Gate being researched here for MaxPax. Pylon has been thrown down a little bit further out though. And there we go. We cancel Warp Gate, and it is going to be a Stargate open. And I'm sure Solar, he does confirm that Warp Gate has been cancelled with that Overlord, so he's aware of the Stargate opener. Should be for Oracle production, again to harass the mineral lines and to get some damage done. And we'll see if Solar can keep up. We shall see. Adept does threaten the shade, leaves her in position. But now Solar does keep up and does zone the Adept away. Oh. As we come in from behind, we don't quite get the drone. Whew, quick spore trick there from Solar. Does save his drone. As that one Adept is now joined by two Adepts do one-shot workers, and we do get one. We get one drone, we get a second drone as well. Ooh, Spore was a little bit late there. 2 drone kills, not too bad. And can we get a third? Not quite. Whew. Not quite here. 2 drones for 2 Adepts. Not the best trade for MaxPax, assuming that this Adept goes down. But again, we're not done. We have the Oracle on the way. The Oracle's in production. Solar taking a third base. Droning, pulling out of gas. That's very important. We have not rushed into the Rich Resting Gas Geyser either. So even though this base can be used to go for an all-in, we're not going for one. At the same time, MaxPax delays his third base, going for a Twilight Council and more gateways. This could be one of 2 things. We could be working towards Glaives. This could be a bit of a hidden, delayed Glaive Adept build, or this could be for a Blink Stalker all-in. Oh, as the Oracle dives into the mineral line, 2 drones go down. Ooh, but the Oracle takes a lot of hits, barely does escape. How many gateways do we have? Getting up to 4 gateways for now. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Glaives, but we'll see. As we now take the third. Blink, not Glaives. Okay, so this can be a very scary build. So what this means is we're rushing into Blink very quickly, which means Stalker aggression very quickly as well, and this often leads into a 3-base all-in, into an 8-gate 3-base all-in. So we'll keep an eye on the gateways, we'll keep an eye on whether or not a Forge gets thrown down for +1, and whether we take extra gases. That's what I'm looking for. Extra gases from the side of MaxPax. Meanwhile, we have that Roach Horn on the way from Solar. Creep is spreading as we speak. Queens are pushing forward. The Rift Vesting Gas Geyser has been taken, and Solar has cut workers. Solar is going for an all-in. We're cutting workers at 36, so he is going for a Queen Roach all-in. It's all or nothing for Solar. Does catch a Stalker early on. Pretty nice pickup before Blink finishes. Blink is almost done. Blink is going to be massive here to defend as well. Hero is very fond of going into these Twilight Council or fast Blink openers against all-ins. Like, Blink is so useful here. I was talking about the aggressive potential of MaxPax, but also the defensive potential is quite high as well. And we have a third shield battery on the way. Solar, again, he's all in. No droning whatsoever at the natural. Barely saturate, or not even full saturation here at the center base. Oh, I'm loving the positioning of these Lings. We can try to surround and engulf the army. We force out the Blinks. The Lings, they come in from behind. But we have shield batteries. We have the Oracle as well. Yeah, the Oracle's going ham. Overcharge is popped. Stalkers are getting picked off, though. Now we do snipe a couple of those Stalkers. Shield battery putting in a lot of work. Will finally go down. But it bought a lot of time. Yeah, the Stalkers, they warp in. We do blink back. And we do hold. Again, there's just so much micro potential this early on with Blink Stalkers. And we do force the army back. We have to be careful not to overextend. We're getting almost surrounded. You have to calm down. Yeah, Solo going for the kill. Shuts down the shield battery. We're running out of energy. And we're coming in for the surround. Stalkers, they are trapped, blinking back into the mineral line. But these shield batteries are going down one after the other. They're out of energy, no overcharge either. Now the shield battery does finish up though. And the Queens aren't really adding too much either. Yeah, the Queens, they don't add much DPS. We do have to pull back. We do get 11 probe kills, but MaxPax holds. And fun fact, even though we lost 11 workers, MaxPax still has the gas mining, and he's still ahead in probes. He's still ahead in the economy. Solar still refusing to drone, still completely all in. And we're getting ready for the third wave. We're getting ready for wave 3. But I'm losing confidence here. I believe we have another overcharge. There it is. Overcharge is popped. Shield battery this time goes down immediately. Solid files there from Solar. Ooh, connecting with Stalkers. But we have more Stalkers on the way. We're running out of Lings. We're getting on top of the Ravagers. And we can't afford to lose them. Yeah, Ravagers are going down. Roaches as well. Brutal pickoffs there. For Solar as he's running out of steam. We do get 15 probes. But we're also losing Ravagers. It's close. It's very close. Oh, we're down to 5 Stalkers. And it looks like we have broken the third base just barely. I say that. Here come reinforcements. And we spoke about the Ravagers being picked off earlier. We're down to 1 Ravager. That is the backbone of Solar's army. And it's broken. The backbone is not there anymore. 1 Ravager left. We maintain control of the center base. MaxPax still ahead in probes, despite losing all those workers earlier. And I think we failed. I know that Solar is getting ready for wave number 4, and we're still not droning. We're just rotating workers over. But after losing, and after the Ravager count gets reset, I mean, that's rough to come back from. Yeah, we're getting on top of the Queens. We do transfuse, we keep each other alive. And again, Solar, he has gotten close to breaking MaxPax. Lings coming in from behind once again. Voids are being pulled, overcharged in the back line. Ooh, does tank those bile hits a little bit longer. And very nice target firing out of MaxPax, focusing down those Ravagers as well. Being forced further back. We get 14 probe kills. Lings are rallying in. They're rallying in. We're running out of Ravagers. Once again, 2 Ravagers left. We're going for the base. We're going for the Nexus. Can we get it? I think we can. Yeah, we can just barely snipe the base. Nexus will fall. It does cost us a lot, though. And despite the fact that we've been all in for like 5 minutes, has Solar done enough? Bearing in mind that the next time we try to defend this is not going to be an overcharge. The Nexus is just now starting. Still close. I'm still not loving the army that Solar has right now. Forces out the blink, collapsing on the Stalkers. Decent surround. The Biles! Very nice. You catch a handful of Stalkers. Very efficient trade there from Solar. You can see him just trying to rebuild that Ravager army. Coming in from behind, gets Zealots. Biles, they connect with the shield battery. Only one shield battery. Once it goes down, there's not going to be an overcharge. This time the Queens are waddling in. Biles a little bit lackluster, but yeah, these leagues are putting in a lot of work. Oh, we're down to 5 Stalkers. Just barely we force back the army. But this time the Ravager count is getting higher and higher. Yeah, we have too much. GG gets called after being all in for 10 minutes, almost 11. Solar takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Oh my god. That was a very, very close game. I was very impressed with MaxPax's initial defenses, his ability to preserve his Stalkers, focus on the Ravagers, survive the first, second, third wave of all in. But eventually, his Nexus did fall. Without the Nexus, there's no more overcharge, there's that much less SimCity to work with as well. The position is that much more vulnerable, slower warp-ins, and Solar broke him in the end, just barely. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Solar does start things off with a lead, but it's a best of 5. Plenty of games ahead of us, plenty of opportunity to bounce back. Game 2 is going to be on Dynasty. Ooh, for the first time tonight. I'm a little bit shocked. Dynasty is traditionally vetoed in this matchup quite heavily by Zerg players. If Solar has allowed this map in, I'm feeling another all-in. Not gonna lie, you don't load into Dynasty in a ZvP without the Zerg player having a plan for an all-in. I'm ready for it. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Dynasty, we have our Danish Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Storm Gaming down in the series. Looking to bounce back here in game number 2 in these finals. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left. Where is our drone going, by the way? Hello. Going for the gold on the other side. Going for a 15-15. We have the South Korean Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Team Vitality. It is Solar. And there it is. There is that hatchery. Again, you don't see Dynasty unless the Zerg player has an all-in planned. Now, this is a very similar dynamic to the game that we just saw, where this base, when you take it on this side, you have the Rich Testing Gas Geyser. You have the Rich Gas here to go into a Roach-based all-in once you can stabilize your economy here on this base. It's going to be on MaxPax to punish this hatchery. Now, unlike in the other setup where if you expand on the left-hand side, you can't harass this as easily with the depths. Like, if you expand here, then you can just park at depths and Stalkers, and you can just bully this mineral line, which is why you don't take just regular expansions. MaxPax does come in for the scout, and he does confirm the hatchery placement. Now, how do we punish this? MaxPax going for his own gold base. The reason why we would be rushing roaches here is when we do get into our roach counts, we can punish this. We can punish this gold base with roaches, with ravagers. We can just bile down on this mineral line. And the gas is being prioritized. There's a main node over as well. Spawning pool just now finishing. Now, we could open up Twilight counts into Glaive Adepts. We could just focus on Oracle Harass instead. We'll see how this all comes together here. We'll see how MaxPax does approach this. Dark often makes it to the finals in KSL, though. He does. I mean, Hero is usually the champion of KSL. But this week there was no Hero. Hero didn't compete in KSL. But it was on the other players to really make a name for themselves. I do recommend the VODs. It was really cool seeing Nightmare and Creator and Oliveira pop off. They all did very well for themselves in this week's KSL. It was very impressive. And it is a Twilight Council opener. Most likely Glaives. And there it is, we pull out a gas. We've pulled out a gas, so this should be a Glaive Adept build. We'll see how many gateways we throw down. It should just be 4 gate Glaives. But we could spice things up a little bit here. If we pull back in later, we could throw down like a Dark Shrine, for example, and go DTs alongside them. We could throw down additional gateways, go up to like 6 Gate-Glaive Adept. But for now, it should just be 4. Speaking of, our Adepts are going to be threading the mineral line. They do shade behind the mineral line and from the other side. Let's go. And we do harass. We do get 1 drone kill so far. Nicely done. Second Adept does arrive. We can one-shot workers. Solar has to respect it. Does have to pull back. Oh, as we bleed out another drone. Yeah, shading into the main base. Lings are in position. We get a 3rd and a 4th drone as well. Oh, big pickups. 4 workers go down for 2 Adepts. That was a good trade for MaxPax. And there are those guys that we spoke. Oh my god, that we spoke about. We pulled back into gas. I just said that just to say something, but we did pull back in. And this is not 4 Gate-Glaive Adepts. This is 6. 6 Gate-Glaive Adepts. A very committed build here on 2 bases. Very aggressive here by MaxPax. Lings have arrived. They're going for the surround. Ooh, they catch the Stalker and the Adept. Strong start for Solar. Doesn't get eyes on much else. Adepts are warping in. With no anti-air, the Overlord will get the full scout, and Solar will recognize how committed we are. Oh, this Roach Warren feels a little bit late. Roach Warren's on the way. I think it was thrown down around the 4-minute mark. Okay, so Roach Warren is in production. We're amassing Lings and Roaches. For now, just Lings and Queens to defend. And we do confirm the mass gateway count. Solar immediately Spine Crawlers. Makes sense. Against 6 Gate-Glaive Adepts, we need Spine Crawlers to help keep up with the movement of MaxPax. We have 2 Adepts towards the right-hand side. Lings chasing down the shade. Not much of them to defend. Drones are going down. Yeah, all it takes is 2 Adepts. We get 2, 3, 4, 5 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. Solar racing back. Roaches are arriving, though. And it was only the Spine Crawler at the 3rd, or at the gold. Not in the main. And we shade in. You catch a couple of Roaches. Still just the 5 drones going down. Ravager barely morphed in. Another Roach is targeted. Oh, no, the Bile does connect. As we shade the hell out against still warping in a mass amount of Adepts. 3rd base is on the way behind this. Adepts shading into the mineral line. MaxPax testing here. The multitasking of Solar. Can he keep up? So we're getting 4 more drone kills. Solar down to 26. And we catch the Queens. Yeah, he's being pulled apart. Get a lot of damage done. The drones, the Queens. And Solar hasn't been able to make use of his gold base yet. Now, what I will say though is that because we have the gold, even though Solar's on a very low drone count, this is helping him recover. He can sustain himself here with the help of that gold and the rich gas geyser. Dev's moving out. Do catch a tumor. And Solar now finally has map control. He's freely mining back at home, and he's massing up his own Ling Ravager army. And now it's time for MaxPax to defend, but I believe he has Immortals yet. 2 Immortals here with the main army, Mass Adept. Ling Ravager is going to struggle against this. Yeah, for a moment there I was like, now Solar can push. No, no, no. Solar still stuck at home, still defending. Does MaxPax have too much? How many Ravagers do we have? 5. 5 Ravagers, 3 Roaches. Another Queen goes down. Prism headed for the gold base. We do commit to the shade. Oh, and there's nothing here. We shade it into the natural. Immortals towards the 3rd. And Soul's being picked apart. Yeah, we're getting too much done. Spine Crawler falls. Lings are being cleaned up. And remember, we've already lost like 3 or 4 Queens. With a low Queen count, so that Prism can have its way here. With the bases of Solar. Not enough anti-air. We catch some Ravagers. Oh, good. Lings, they come in to help surround, but yeah, the Lings, they melt before the Glaive Adepts. Roach is doing what they can, but we shade away. Balzo connect, deny mining at the gold. And MaxPax is getting out of control. Again, a very good response here to the greed of Solar. Going into the 68 Glaive Adepts, GG gets called, it just gets too much, gets out of hand, and MaxPax ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, MaxPax clearly very practiced when it comes to punishing this attempted opener from Solar. That's why I'm not too fond of Dynasty, not just because, I mean, mainly because we only see all-ins from Zerg players. And for them to, or for Solar to try to take that goal base, it's so risky, and nowadays it's becoming a little bit more commonplace as well. Very nice punish there from MaxPax. And now we're tied up. We're tied up 1-1. Who takes the lead? Who takes the lead in this series? Who will gain some momentum here? Is it going to be MaxPax or Solar as we're loading in to Site Delta? And this time, there is no gold, there's no rich gas geyser, there's nothing to tempt a player to go for an all-in. This should be a much more standard setup here for Solar and MaxPax. We've had a chaotic start, but we should be calming down at least a little bit here. But maybe I'm speaking too soon. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Storm Gaming, tying up the series 1-1. Looking to take that momentum and keep it going, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Team Vitality, being forced into a tied-up series. Can he bounce back? It is Solar. We go as Solar is denied his natural, forced to take his unnatural natural instead, forced to expand elsewhere, but you know, this is a pretty standard setup nonetheless. It's going to be a hatch gas pool opener here by Solar. It's going to be hatch gas pool. Likewise, MaxPax getting into his own opener as well. Gate expand into Cybercore. And again, Site Delta is one of the more standard maps in the map pool, especially compared to Crimson Court, Amphion, Ghost River, Post. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness in the map pool right now. So Site Delta, one of the more standard maps. Should lead to more of a back and forth mid-game. But we'll keep an eye on the openers, we'll keep an eye on the builds. We'll keep an eye on the saturation for both MaxPax and Solar, as we should be seeing another Stargate opener from the side of MaxPax into Oracles, into a third. And Solar should be droning. For now, MaxPax just being as annoying as possible with that probe. Keeping tabs on Solar and forcing a bit of inefficient mining here. Just a bit. Again, we're going to be calming things down. When it comes to Site Delta itself, there are definitely some interesting features of the map. We do have a ramp leading into the natural, which is a rarity, and it does impact other matchups more than this one. PvP mainly. So TVT as well. TVP even. There's that take of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener. Warp Gate is cancelled, and I'm sure Solar is aware. So Stargate's on the way. That should be for Oracle production. Likewise, it's going to be on Solar to minimize his losses to defend against the early Adept harass and the early Oracle harass. It's going to be all about that Ling movement and Queen movement as well. All about the positioning. First Adept does arrive, threatens a shade, does cancel, going for the mineral line, and we don't quite get a drone. Couple of shots on the Lings. Speaking of, two Lings do slip into the main base, getting a full scout. Solar gets confirmation of the Stargate and will also confirm the first unit of choice. Oracle's on the way. Meanwhile, Adept say shade in. They do manage to shade in. There's that many less Lings to defend back at home. Solar is a bit vulnerable. And we go for the drones. Oh, not quite getting them though. Nice defense out of Solar. Getting a good scout as well. And so far, we are holding our own. Honestly, this was even a better defense than what we saw on Crimson Court. I forgot the name of the map for a moment. I was like, Amphion? No. As Lings, they shut down one of the Adepts. They check the third base, but we have plenty to defend. Ooh, as we force the activation of the Pulsar Beam. Very nicely done here by Solar. Wasting energy. Keeping MaxPax pinned back at home. For now. Ooh, as we do go for the Adept. Nice positioning here from MaxPax. The second Oracle has arrived. We clean up all the Lings. MaxPax does defend. Well, the Oracle gets across the map again. That much less energy to work with. Headed for the third. Queens are in position. Spore is done just in time. The Oracle does no damage, but the Oracle also takes no damage. So plenty of shields here to work with. As we head for the natural. Spore finishing up. So far, Solar has been able to keep up with MaxPax, but there's no Spore in the main. And we do get one drone. One drone so far. But we're hoping for more. MaxPax taking a chance, going right through the center, headed for the main, and does get an extra drone. 2. Oh, can we get 3? Oh, ooh, not quite. Oh, we can. MaxPax just pulling these 2 queens apart. It gets 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, 6 worker kills. Very nicely done. MaxPax just pulling Solar out of position. 6 drone kills, Oracle does escape, and we still have 2 more here, ready to dive back in. When it comes to our follow-up, third base getting saturated, we have 5 Adepts on the ground, 5 Adept, double Oracle. Again, a pretty standard push here from MaxPax, as we're working towards Blink and +1. Ling round by can get some damage done, but what do we have at home to defend? Uh-oh. Not much. Lings are racing back home. The Adepts, they threaten to dive. They dive into the natural base. Drones are going to be going down. They are targeted. We get 2, 3, 4 workers here at the natural. This is becoming too much. 6 or 7 drones go down. We're going to get 8. We're going to get 9. Yeah, Solar is falling apart here. 12 worker kills. That is 19 in total. And before we can even talk about the mid game here, we're just... yeah, we're bleeding out too much from the harass. Now, there is potential with this Ling run by. But the wall is a wall. Yeah, there's an Oracle back at home to defend. The Lings, they don't get any damage done. And MaxPax takes an economic lead. Ooh, getting 2 more drones. Good target firing here from Solar. Takes down an Oracle finally, but the damage has been done. The Oracle has already paid for themselves. All 3 of them. MaxPax is in a much better position. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't take our gases and go up to 8 gateways. Oh, we went double forge. Never mind. Went double forge, double upgrades. 4th base is on the way. MaxPax just settling into a longer game, going for a gateway heavy composition. Stalkers and charge lots. Speaking of, charges on the way. And now as we enter the mid game, this Blink Stalker army is going to be very formidable. Solar has been stuck redroning. Rushing into an infestation pit. It's going to be for Hive Tech. Second Evo chamber. Stalkers are moving out. And can Solar keep up? Got a handful of roaches. Now, thankfully for Solar, MaxPax is not all in. I was really concerned that MaxPax was just going to go for an 8-gate all-in on 3 bases. And he is still not taking gases, so he's still very gateway heavy. But it's not like he has like a proxy in the middle of the map to reinforce. He's not doubling down, he's investing in upgrades. So Solar can hold. And we do get a decent surround. The blinks though from MaxPax. Oh my god! Finally bleeding out 1 Stalker. Get 2 Stalkers go down. Ooh, we get a 3rd. Nice defense from Solar. Massing on more Lings. Meanwhile, MaxPax going for a multi-pronged aggression. Drop into the natural. Queen's looking a bit exposed. We do pick off one. One queen goes down. Zealot into the natural, warping into the main base. Prism does go down, but only after the warping does complete. And yeah, MaxPax is pulling Solar apart because of all the economic damage done earlier. Solar just doesn't have the supply. Doesn't have the army to defend. He's being overwhelmed. And MaxPax looking to break this fourth. GG gets called as Solar runs out of steam, and MaxPax takes the lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. Again, MaxPax flexing his Adept and Oracle harass. Initially, Solo was keeping up, but there was a certain moment there where finally the Oracles were able to pull the Queens a little bit too far to one end. That was in the main base, if you remember. We got 6 drone kills. That was kind of the beginning of the end. Then we followed it up with the Adept harass, with the Oracle harass. Solo was out of position. If you remember, as the 5 Adept harass with double Oracle was coming in, the Lings were across the map. They didn't get any damage done, and Solo very quickly lost 19 drones. It was brutal. And from there, MaxPax was comfortable. He was very comfortable. It was very much so maintaining his lead there, and did snowball out of control. But now we're diving into game number 4. The pressure is on. Solar needs to win this game to force the ace match. MaxPax is on match point. One more win. MaxPax will be our champion. Let's go. Again, MaxPax, he was deprived of his championship earlier today against Clem in the European Weekly. But MaxPax already got his revenge. He already took Clem down. Now can he take it one step further? As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have our red Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming, leading the series 2-1. And one game away from becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Vitality down in this series. Can he bounce back? He needs to here and now to force that ace match. It is Solar. Here we go. He pumped straight 26 workers when MaxPax was walking across the map. Yes, that is because of the worker damage that was dealt earlier. There was that much more pressure on Solar to just resettle his economy after losing 19 drones. That was brutal. It was brutal, Bobby. And again, MaxPax wasn't even all in that previous game. He was getting a 4th base, working on additional upgrades, double forge, working on charge. Was just that much ahead. But now we wipe the slate clean. We wipe it clean. Getting into game 4. This time Solar able to expand where he so chooses, going for the hatch gas pool. Getting into our hatch gas pool, it's going to be a gate expand into Cybercore from MaxPax. Just standard openers here from our players. Nothing crazy. We are letting into Alcyone. If we were casting Dark, I would talk about the gold and how some Zerg players like to rush into the gold as their natural. We can see that Solar is doing none of the sort. Is taking a more standard base. And outside of this fast gold that you can try to take, this map is more known for its longer macro play. The 3rd and 4th base setup are a lot more secure to end up in the mid to late game. We'll see if we can get there, though. Again, the scary thing about what we just saw is that MaxPax snowballed out of control with this early game harassment. There was nothing too special when it comes to the build. It was standard. You know, triple Oracle. We had the initial double Adept harass into 5 Adept harass as well. It's what we expect to be seeing here from the side of Protoss, and yeah, MaxPax just pulled Solar apart. So that doesn't bode well. At the same time, though, Solar also had to take the unnatural natural, so it was a bit of a more awkward defense for him. I'm sure he'll have a lot more success this time defending against the aggression of MaxPax. At least I hope so. I do hope so. As that Stargate is soon to finish up to get into our oracles. First Adept is moving out. Sorry, first adept is already here. Second adept is moving out. Haven't gotten much done yet. Again, because of our natural base, there's only one attack path. Before you could see MaxPax kind of attack and engage from multiple angles at that natural base. At the third location, as we do shade into the main. It's a lot of damage dealt to the first adept, and we're going to be forced back. Very clean defense so far from Solar. Doesn't get the adept, but does force the shade. And MaxPax does have to back off. So far, so good. Speed kicks in. First Oracle's moving out. Second Oracle's on the way behind this, and there is our third Nexus. This time, Solar isn't being as active with his Lings. We saw in the last game that he was trying to apply some pressure to the third and trying to keep MaxPax busy. Ooh, that's very nice stutter stepping there from Solar. Very nice control. Get some extra hits in. Oracle checking the third. Adepts do shade in. Queens are keeping up. And the Lings, they do hit across the map. Do we have an Oracle to defend? We don't. Both Oracles are out. They're out across the map. So we shade into the natural. We do get 2 drone kills. The pylon does for the Lings, threatening a cancel at the third. But the Oracle should get here in time. That goes down. Oracles have a right. We waste some energy. And Solar does have a moment to breathe. The Oracles, they all race back home, and now Solar, he can drone up. We have our Spores finishing. We have a Spore at the natural, Spore in the main. Third base, Spore as well. There are a lot of Zerg players that actually skip their third Spore, but Solar playing it safe makes sense, especially after what happened in game number 3. Does make sense here. As Solar is making an extra wave of Lings. Keeping MaxPax contained. Oracles move out. The Queens are in position. The Oracles take a lot of hits. We're making our way into the main. We have our third Oracle towards the left-hand side. Adepts through the center. We get surrounded. And this time Solar, he does keep up with the Adepts. Revelation into the main. Lair is on the way. Roach War. Nothing too crazy here from the side of Solar. Just droning up on 3 bases. And again, a much cleaner early game this time from our Zerg player. You know, no dead 19 workers this time. 19 drones, what I meant to say. Not this time, man. Oracle dips in. Oh. Good for the gas mining workers. At the same time, Link counterattack here at the third. Shield batteries are not done. Uh-oh. Yeah, whole position on those workers. Probes are falling. Oracle gets 4 drone kills across the map, but we get 5 probes and a shield battery. Not bad. You trade blow for blow. Stalkers are revealed, so we know it's going to be +1 blink. At least Solar has confirmation. It's not going to be a fast charge-based build. Or some kind of like more weird Glaive Adept follow-up. Solar getting into his 3 bases, and interesting, we did make a safety Roach Warren, but you can see here we're skipping out on Roach production, going for a Hydra Den. Solar cutting some corners. And is he going to be punished for it? As if these Stalkers moved out, there would only be Lings and Queens to defend. We are skipping Roaches. So Solar is vulnerable. Hydras are on the way. MaxPax setting up back at home, leaving his Oracles as well to defend against his Lings. And here come those Stalkers. They can trade nicely, but we should have enough to hold on. As Hydras are trickling in. Yeah, just in time. MaxPax is getting a 4th base. Again, he's not committing on 3 bases. So he's just applying some light pressure. Clearing up creep. Oh, meanwhile, across the map, Ling Rumbai does slip in. Doesn't get much done. 2 probes. 2 probes go down. Stasis Trap is triggered. MaxPax just trying to catch those lings. And we're building up towards Robotics Bay production. We have the Bay on the way for Colossus. I imagine MaxPax should be taking gases soon. Back at home, Solar, he has survived with Ling Hydra, and now we're working towards not just Hive Tech, but Lurker Tech. Hydra Lurker Vipers on the horizon. But what MaxPax has done is clear up a lot of creep. So much creep has been denied here. Solar has very limited vision. Uh-oh. Doesn't spot the army. Trying to get in position. MaxPax doubling down now with a hefty amount of Stalkers. Stasis Traps lined up behind this. Lurkers aren't out yet. What do we catch? A couple of Overlords. Not quite the Queen. Stasis does go off on almost every single Ling. See MaxPax trying to go for his own Prism Harass. Ling Rabbi does come in, does get on top of the Cybercore. Cybercore is going to be going down, but the Hydras are exposed. And trading with Hydras is a good trade for MaxPax. But the Prism is zoned away. Cybercore survives. Oh my god. The overcharge. Somehow keeps the Cybercore alive. And MaxPax, he's getting fully saturated on 4 bases, getting a 5th, going for the gold. But Solar did survive, did defend. The Hive is done, a Lurker upgrade's on the way. No Lurkers yet. Still hyperfixated on Ling Hydra. And we're chasing this down. We catch the Oracles. And both of them do fall. Stellar Rumbai being set up. Prism towards the left-hand side did survive. And we're going for another warp in. Solar, I'm sure, aware of that. Lurkers are now on the way. Solar, he's made it to Lurker Tech so far. We haven't really hit critical mass of Hydra Lurker Viper yet, but we're getting there. At the same time, MaxPax is aware of this, and we have to make a choice. Do we double down on a ground toss army, or do we take up into sky toss? We have our answer. Second Robo and a Templar Archives. It's going to be for Archons, for Colossus, Storm. The turns have tabled. Where Solar can now gain map control with those Lurkers. At the same time, Prism slipping into the main. Does force Solar back home. Is going to be forced back. Main army pushing forward, but we have Lurkers! Ooh. Big Spine Shots on the Stalkers. Prism is zoned away. Only a handful of Zealots are active. And Solar has maxed out. Ooh, again, still very little creep spread, as MaxPax has been quite aggressive and quite assertive. Has been able to keep up. Zealot Rumbai on the right-hand side. Catches a couple of workers. Drones are going down. Even catches some Hydras. And this is going to force a big reaction. At the same time, we cannot break through the Lurker line, but we can get on top of the base. Yeah, Hatchery under fire. Zealots trading with Lings. 5 drones go down, and the base will fall. And a very nice movement here from MaxPax. It did cost him a lot of Zealots, but he kills the base. Maintains his economic lead. Again, MaxPax is on 85 workers, and he has the gold as well. He has the superior economy. And what are we doing with that economy? Ah, triple immortal production. Uh-oh. And Storm. Like, immortals are a good way to break a siege line of Lurkers. Oh my god. Without them, though, Lurkers are pushing in. To get in position. Ooh. We catch one of the High Templar. We force in an Archon. Vipers now have arrived. A little bit late to the party, so they won't be able to yoink the Colossus yet, but the gold base is denied. MaxPax does save his workers, though. The probes do pull back. Zealot Rumbai coming in. Oh, trading quite nicely here. Getting into the natural. The Viper! No! The Viper is left behind and it will be shut down. Ooh, not a single yoink. Zealots even walking into the main. They get a drone kill. Solar is down to 69 workers. Nice. I mean, it's not actually quite nice right now. It's we'd like to have it higher. Solar remaxing with more Hydras. And MaxPax just doubling down on those Immortals. Oof. And 3 lurkers get picked off. The storm as well. 5 lurkers go down. And here come the immortals. We need support. We need some kind of buffer for the lurkers, and it's just not there. It just wasn't there in time. I'm afraid to look. 13 lurkers have fallen. Ay, ay, ay. And we get a big warping into the main base. Lurker Den is going to be targeted. Yeah, Lurker Den goes down. Once again, the lurkers are on their own. And they're so exposed. We're going to be able to clean every single one up. GG gets called. That was the army of Solars. He's dragged out of position, and MaxPax will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax did falter in the finals against Clem earlier today in the European finals, but again, we mentioned was able to get his revenge in the semifinals, did bring Clem down in the best of 3, and here against Solar, MaxPax was able to flex his skill here, flex his early game aggression. We saw that earlier in the previous game. We saw MaxPax punish the play on Dynasty as well, the attempted all-in, the attempted aggression, and even here, able to just pull Solar apart. Solar, he did get up to Lurker Tech, but because of Solar's lack of creep, his lack of map vision, Zealot Rummides and Zealot drops were pulling him apart left and right, allowing MaxPax to pick away at the lurkers, to pick away at the bases, at the drones. Solar was pulled apart there. Again, the aggression or the map control from MaxPax was quite impressive. Oh, was terrifying. GG, well played. And with that, MaxPax is our champion. Congratulations. My condolences to Solar, my condolences, but I mean, did make it all the way to the finals. And I'm curious, I was unable to see, I was unable to have a look at the bracket, so I'm very curious as to what the bracket looked like. Let's have a look. Let us have a look. Okay. As we do switch our scenes over and have a look at the Wikipedia page. Bam! Okay, so for ESL Open Cup Europe, which we did cast earlier before NA, we had Clem going for... Oh my god! Euthermal. Now, I believe this tag is incorrect. So, over the past couple of weeks, I should say a couple of months ago, when Euthermal started competing more regularly again, Euthermal was playing random, but over the past couple of weeks, Euthermal has been exclusively playing Terran. So I'm curious about this. I feel like Euthermal was most likely playing Terran, not random, against Mixo and Clem. I mean, maybe we can get some confirmation if we message some casters or message the players, but I'm pretty sure Euthermal's been playing Terran, and that would make sense. We did see Euthermal recently take down Oliveira in TVT. Like, Euthermal's TVT is, I would say, his best matchup. It's pretty impressive. So to take a game off of Clem is very impressive, and again, does kind of lean into that story of Euthermal's TVT just being top tier. It's, yeah, been really cool to see Euthermal pop off against some of these other top tier players. Despite being the YouTube man, can still take it here to the best of them, including Clem. Scrolling down, we had Wayne taking down Hearthstone 2-0, did fall to Clem. Hero Marine got his revenge versus Spirit. I always love seeing Spirit and Hero Marine. They go back and forth in series very often. In that TVT, Hero Marine this time brings Spirit down, but it went all the way to the ace match. Do love to see it. And here towards the bottom of the bracket, we had MaxPax bringing down Lambo. I was curious who Beyond faced off. Oh, we faced off against Foxer in the early rounds. We casted Beyond versus Skilless. We casted MaxPax versus Beyond. And of course, we casted the finals with Clem taking down MaxPax in the end. GG. Well played. Okay, so yeah, I was really curious. Really cool to see Euthermal again popping off, you know, taking maps here and there. I don't know if Euthermal really wants to like make a return as a pro player. I think he's just still doing this for fun. I mean, I say for fun. He started playing Terran, I want to say, because of WTL. For those who don't know, Euthermal, he's competing for his team offside in WTL, and did have a rocky start, but it does feel like he's been putting in a lot of effort when it comes to practicing and preparing, and it's always a lot of fun seeing Euthermal every week in WTL with whatever build he has prepared, and he's becoming more and more of a threat. Is really nice to see. It's really nice to see. Alone Archon versus Alone Viper trade. Ah, Smooch. Meanwhile, I'm curious what happened in the Americas Weekly, because again, we only casted the semifinals and the grand finals. Okay, from the top. I'm curious. We had oh, Lambo. Oh, right, of course. We rarely get to see Lambo compete in this tournament, but this tournament is at an NA friendly time zone, and Lambo and Hearthstone are in Canada at the moment, or I think they might just now be in Americas as they're getting ready for DreamHack. Is Hearthstone here as well? Yo, Funada, what's going on? We had Lambo, we had Scarlet, we had Bjorn, but no Hearthstone. Shaking my head. Where's the content man? Aye. Unless I'm blind. Do I see him? Not quite. So the other Shopify players were here. Lambo took down Scarlet 2-0. Lambo took a game off of Clem. Very impressive. That's very nice play here out of Lambo. Unfortunately, again, we weren't able to cast this, but that would have been a beautiful series to cover. Same with Lambo versus Scarlet. Scrolling down, we had, I saw Trap earlier. We had Bjorn versus MaxPax. Went to the ace match. Let's go. We saw MaxPax 2-0 Bjorn during ESL Europe, ESL Open Cup Europe. But here, Bjorn takes a map. Let's go. Did take map versus MaxPax. Again, would have been a great series to have caught as well. Scrolling down, Solar versus Sue went to the ace match. That is important. That is important to take note of. Sue has been looking like quite a threat in ZvZ. And I think Sue is in a Zerg group, if I'm not mistaken, in DreamHack. So went to the ace match. Solar did come out on top. Estrella takes down Wayne and takes him. Oh, Papi. Max Angel, calm down. Okay. Estrella, he 2-1'd Wayne and he took a map off of Solar. That's impressive. I mean, for those who don't know, Estrella did just join a new team. He joined Virtus Pro. This is like a month ago, I think, or maybe 3 weeks ago. But Estrella did join a new team in the lead up to DreamHack and the lead up to the Esports World Cup. And yeah, that's impressive stuff here. Estrella, he has potential coming into DreamHack Dallas. At least win his PVZ, I feel, if he can take down Wayne and take Solo to the ace match. I mean, to be fair, we didn't watch the games. I don't know what happened, but, you know, interesting results nonetheless. We had Hero. Hero did arrive here. Now, Hero was missing for ESL Asia, so I was curious if Hero was going to skip ESL this week, the ESL weeklies, but he was here for Americas. He was here for Americas, took down Pig, took down Lemon, went to the ace match against Solar. This would have been a fun series. I would have loved to have seen this this best of 3 here between Solar and Hero. Solar does take it in the end. Very impressive stuff. Hero has some of the best PVZ out there. I mean, similar to MaxPax. A very different approach. Hero is very chaotic. He's very aggressive. I mean, in general, in all the matchups, he's a very aggressive player. So did falter to Solar in the end. And of course, we had our series we just casted. MaxPax versus Solar. Again, for the Americas Weeklies, I only had the replays of this bracket, sorry, this series and this series, the upper semis and the finals, unfortunately. But again, starting next week, I'll try to be there to cast it live. I'll do my best. Ooh. No Special as well. I mean, Special, he hasn't been competing too often. Like, Special he's been taking like a bit of a backseat. Done for today? Yeah, we're wrapping up. But yeah, I think especially for people that don't follow the region, whenever we've been casting Special, people have been a little bit surprised. But yeah, Special, he hasn't been competing as much. Over the past year, he's been focusing on other commitments, on IRL commitments, on other things. And that has, unfortunately, kind of shown in play. Like, Special, I would say, is no longer the best Terran in even Latin America. I think I would rate Kellizer a little bit higher nowadays. Yeah, so it has been a bit of a shame. But, you know, maybe he'll bounce back. Maybe he'll be reinvigorated in the coming year. But he has been a little bit less active over the past, 12 months. Over the past 12 months. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But let us quickly set up and have a look at the open stage. A DreamHack, papi. DreamHack. Here we go. Whew. Okay, so DreamHack is starting up tomorrow in, I think, just over 24 hours. So from hearing this message, if you want to tune into DreamHack Dallas, I believe it's starting in like 25 hours time, like maybe just over 25 hours. So stay tuned for that. We are going to be casting it here on the channel. We're going to be casting day 1, and we're going to be covering the open stage. The open brackets of DreamHack Dallas is going to be here on the CranKy Ducklings. From my understanding, we are going to be casting the open stage, and we're also going to be casting the knockout brackets, but only the early rounds. Once the mainstream catches up, then the mainstream takes everything. But we're only going to be casting, I believe, just day 1. Day 1 is going to be the open stage and then the knockout bracket. So it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great event, I'm sure. And yeah, I was curious. So I think, oh God. So I was talking about the ZvZ earlier. Sue is down here. Sue is down here in the ZvZ. So his ZvZ's on point. This could go either way for Sue and DRG. When it comes to what we want to be casting tomorrow, I'm leaning towards... Maybe chat can help me out. I'm leaning towards either Young versus Future, but it leads into a TVT, so Gumiho's most likely going to be there. I'm a big fan of Creator and Diego, so I might jump on like Creator Epic leading into Kelazur here in Group A. I like Ryung. I want to avoid the TVTs, so that's tempting here. What do we care more about? What do we want more? Creator versus Kelazur, or like the potential Alasia versus Skillous? I mean, I think maybe it's always a lot of fun to see different regions collide, right? Like Korea versus Latin America sounds like a lot of fun. Like Alasia and Skillous sounds like a good series, but at the same time, like I feel like we see them face off more often, sort of thing. I think that's kind of my thought process right now with which one I want to cover. Again, that's going to be tomorrow. I can only pick one, right? I could only pick one, and another factor, to be fair, is I think Steadfast is also going to be casting. I think Steadfast, it's going to be us and Steadfast, and we might just talk ahead of time, and maybe he covers Group A and then I cover Group B. Like we'll do our best to split up. We'll do 100%. We'll do our best to split up and cover as much ground as possible, and cast as much as we can. So we'll do our best to coordinate. From my understanding, Winter might cast as a side stream as well. I think Winter's a bigger question mark. But I think it's going to be at least us and Steadfast covering the side stream. Covering this bracket. Dallas tomorrow? Yeah. Mix it up. If I remember, CranKy Ducklings of the B stream for Dallas, side stream. I don't think there's no like official B stream, just side stream. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Here, bracket C and bracket D. I mean, Beyond TVZ looks good. The Beyond TVZ. There's Hearthstone versus Lambo. Again, that's gonna be Korea versus Korea. That's gonna be Europe versus Europe potentially. You know, shout out to Patty Mac. I think this is maybe the best matchup. If Steadfast is casting, he's probably going to want this though, because Steadfast is from Canada, and he's obviously, you know, Scarlet is going to be representing the potential Nightmare versus Scarlet. Oh, that's going to be fire. That's going to be a fire series in the next round. But again, if Steadfast is there tomorrow, he's going to want that 100%, and I'd be happy to give it to him. That's fine. So if Steadfast goes for bracket D to follow Scarlet's, then we'll most likely go for bracket C, and we'll probably go for... Oh. Again, do I want Hearthstone versus Lambo or Beyond versus either Sue or DRG? If we're forced into Group C, then we'll probably go Hearthstone Patty Mac into Disrespect or Lambo. I think that's most likely where we're going to be headed. Just because, you know, Patty Mac's my boy. He's an ex-CranKy Duckling. So I have bias. I definitely bias there. So that's most likely we're going to be headed. I mean, obviously Dolan is also a CranKy Duckling. I would love to cast Dolan, but again, if Steadfast takes bracket D, then we'll take bracket C. Patty Mac is in this? Yes. He's been in China for the past couple of months, but Patty Mac is coming back to America for this. Apparently, Patty Mac interns for my company, so I need to cheer for him. Well, let's go. But yes, Patty Mac, he's been studying in China for almost the entire year. But he is coming back to America for DreamHack Dallas. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to come back for DreamHack Dallas and then spend time with his family for like a month or something before going back. But yeah, that's gonna be the plan. It's gonna be the plan. Assuming that that Steadfast is also gonna be covering this. I say assuming. Last time for DreamHack Atlanta, it was only us. It was only the CranKy Ducklings casting, so there was a lot more pressure to cover as much as possible. But hopefully we have another side stream to help us out, because there's a lot to cast. There's a lot going on at once. Meanwhile, we haven't actually had a look. I haven't actually had a look at the winner stage. So the winner stage is going to be on the main stream. That's going to be where Zombie Grub, Wardy, Rotterdam, Pig, they're all going to be covering Fear Dragon. They're all going to be covering the mainstream. What do we have? Clem versus Stats. Yo, Stats has been looking really good recently. I'm really looking forward to Clem versus Stats. I think that's going to be a fire TVP. Oliveira, I mean, he just had an insane run, an insane finals versus Creator in KSL. That's going to be a good one. Astray versus Hero Marine. That's interesting. I mean, I want to lean towards Hero Marine, but I'm pretty sure Astray has also been practicing quite hard for this finals as well. Shin versus Mario. Oh no, the PTSD. No. Best of luck to Shin. We don't have to talk about the GSL finals between Maru and Shin. You know, the ESL admins, they're brutal. They're why are they making them fight here in the first round? They're animals. So we can ignore this. It's fine. Heading on over to Group B, what do we have? Cyril versus Nice. Ooh, that's I mean, Cyril is a little bit out of practice. Cyril, he's been focusing on his military service, but Cyril has been keeping up, I'm sure, and he's still a beast and a force to be reckoned with. So I think a lot of people are excited to see what does Cyril look like where he's like juggling, practicing, and doing his military service. You know, like this is not going to be Cyril at 100%. Is he still good enough to win the entire thing, or is that enough of a boon to kind of like give other players a chance? So I'm really curious to see the state of play of Cyril, to see kind of how he looks, you know. Scrolling down, Rogue in the open bracket. Yes, Rogue is in the open bracket. We have Hero versus Raynor. This is wild. This is a crazy first round match. Hero, the best Protoss in this tournament, straight up. Here's the best Protoss in the tournament against Raynor, who's one of the best Zerg players. This needs to be casted on the mainstream. They better cast this. This is insane. That's gonna be a really fun match. I'm gonna favor Hero here. I know Raynor's been having a bit of a hard time against Protoss, specifically against Protoss. I feel like that might be Raynor's worst matchup right now. But I wish him the best. I hope he can do well here. And regardless of who wins and loses, it's double lim. It's double elimination, so these players will have another chance here in the lower bracket. And even if they get knocked out here, they actually get pushed to the knockout bracket. We'll get there. But there's like another safety net for them, I'm pretty sure. So don't worry. We have Cure versus Spirit in a TVT. That's going to be interesting. Spirit has been actually looking really good in TVT, especially we saw that in the regionals, right? We saw that in the European regionals. So I might want to lean towards Spirit there. I don't know. I don't know about that one. And then we have Trigger versus Dark. Ooh, okay, Dark. Similar to Cyril, not at the extent of Cyril, but Dark. For those who maybe are unaware, Dark is he's a papi. He's a dad now. He's a father, and he has been missing some weeklies, and I'm pretty sure it's because he's looking after his daughter. So that's another thing, right? Like Dark's now a dad, and I imagine that is going to be impacting his practice and his state of play. So that's another player that I'm going to be looking at to see like how good he is right now and how he compares to everyone else. Do we have any more games today? No, we're done. We're done, Papi. We're done. We're wrapping up. Oh, long cast today. 5 hours. 5 hours. Just going over the bracket. Hope he shows up and is utterly ripped. Let's go. He's going to show up with Zest body. It's going to be beautiful. But yeah, I guess with that, we're done. They be streaming. True. With that, we're done. Again, tomorrow, in just over 24 hours, is going to be DreamHack Dallas. Make sure you tune into that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. We're going to be wrapping up here for the night. We just wrapped up with ESL Open Cup Americas and with Europe. Ooh, it was, again, a pretty long and it was a nice broadcast here. I hope you all had a great time. And we'll see you tomorrow. I'll try to stay up. I'm not going to bed. I'm probably just going to, like, edit VODs and work on other stuff. But, I do have to stay up here to make sure that my sleep schedule is aligned with DreamHack. So I'm going full degen. I have a cup of coffee. It's midnight here in Australia. It's about to be midnight, and I'm drinking coffee. It's gonna go well. It's gonna go beautifully. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys tomorrow for DreamHack Dallas, whether you're watching us or the main stream or one of the other side streams. Hope you have a great time. It's going to be a great celebration of StarCraft. We're going to be crowning a new seasonal champion for spring. Who's it going to be? I mean, Cyril's kind of a question mark. Dark is kind of a question mark. For some of the players that are more informed, you have Maru, you have Hero, you have Clem, you have Raynor, who's been struggling a little bit in Korea, but, you know, he's now getting back into form in an offline event. And even Skillus has been popping off. I mean, exciting times. Exciting events. Look forward to it. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, hasta luego. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. ! Socials in the chat. You can follow us on all things CranKy Ducklings. We have a YouTube channel. We're streaming on YouTube right now as well, not just on Twitch. So you can follow us on YouTube if you want our VODs. VODs are uploaded immediately under the live tab. They're uploaded eventually on the regular VOD tab. We'll get there with our uploads. We'll get there. We're uploading a lot and we're a little bit behind. Thank you for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Until then, ciao. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego. Give us sort of some love. We'll raid. Oh, there's a couple of people streaming. We'll find someone to raid. Give them the chance. Give them some love and some support. See you then.